Friends, welcome to the channel. My name is Hako. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Heidemarie. Heidemarie is a passion ranger character, and if you know how to play Diana, they are kinda similar. So let's go over her cards. As for the basic cards, you usually remove them if you care about making a good save data. Her first card is called Sword Rain, and it has a new status called Linked on it. Linked cards will chain together, and if you use one of the linked cards, you will discard the other ones. Now on your average unit, that might sound horrible, but both Heidemarie and Diana, they have a bunch of cards that activate when you discard them. Sword Rain also has attunement, create one Effulgent Blade. Effulgent Blade is a card that also has linked on it, and it does as much damage if you play it as if you discard it. So we're always looking to discard this one. And important to note with Effulgent Blade, because this is kind of bread and butter, is that once they go into the discard pile, they do not come back to the draw pile on a shuffle of your deck. Now this will be important later, so just keep it in mind. As for the epiphanies, they're all really good. One of my favorite ones is the one in the middle that will activate 5 of the Effulgent Blades that you have in the graveyard against the target as an extra attack. I personally either prefer that one or the first epiphany that makes us create 2 Effulgent Blades with it. It also makes it into a Quietus card, and just to freshen up, a Quietus card is a card that activates when you discard it. For the next card, it is called Hero to All. It's a Quietus card, it makes you draw 3 cards, and it applies link to those cards for this turn. And which one is objectively best is in large gonna depend on what kind of a Heidemarie are we trying to build. She has some variants of her where it's all about just doing one big nuke damage, and she has variants where it's just about to playing as many cards as possible. If you're playing Nuke Heidemarie, or Heideheimer, or Oppenheider as they call it, you want the one that exhausts a 2. One of my favorites, if I'm playing her with Diana, is either go the second epiphany or the 5th epiphany. Then we have another interesting card called Thread of Light. Base kit deals decent damage, and it gains 120% extra damage for every card that you have linked with this card. And once again, with this card, we can pick different epiphanies depending on what we're going. One that I always like is the one in the middle that makes it so that anytime this card is in your hand or is in the graveyard, you get 80% more damage amount to linked cards. And one of my favorite ways to play Heidemarie is to duplicate this 4 times so I can add on 320% more damage, and then play with Diana, and the damage becomes quite nutty. If you're playing Nuke Heidemarie, you usually get rid of both Thread of Light and Sword Rain to not mess up your buffs. Then we have Effulgent Expansion. You create 2 Effulgent Blades and plus 50% damage to Effulgent Blade for 1 turn. And this is also a Quietus card. And now if you're looking to create Nuke Heidemarie, this is the card to do it. Nuke Heidemarie is picking the 4th epiphany and just create as many Effulgent Blades as you possibly can in the discard pile every turn. Hako is the other epiphany is good. They are also good. If you want to go Nuke, you go the 4th one, but all of the other ones are still pretty decent. If I'm not doing Nuke either, one of my favorite ones is either Epiphany 5 or Epiphany 2. If I'm not doing Nuke either, my favorite is Epiphany 5 or 1 or 2. The only one I don't love out of this one is the middle one. And now, finally, her last card is called Effulgent Compression. This is a card that you cannot play, but it has linked in it. And every time you move this to your graveyard, you get 1 Effulgent Light. Once you have 3, you will create the card Effulgent Release. This is a very hard-hitting card that will exhaust all Effulgent Blades in your graveyard. Then you add on 120% more damage amount for each exhausted at the end of the turn, and then you change it back to Effulgent Compression. So this is basically how you play Nuke Heidemarie. Preferably you get 4 out of these ones, and then you can create 24 blades every turn. When the time is right, you pop Effulgent Release, and you will do a ridiculous amount of damage. And I feel like when the Great Rifts opens, we're gonna see a lot of these decks. As for her ego skill, it's a hard-hitting attack that gets plus 100% damage for every card discarded, up to 30 cards. Wait, I do have some egos. I think it might cap out to 20 at base kit. Now, Nuke Heidemarie is arguably the strongest Heidemarie, but I don't find it the most fun one. Instead, the build I personally find the most fun is getting a bunch of Thread of Light, pairing her up with Diana, and also with this buffing Diana's cards as well. And with this epiphany to Hero of All, even Diana's cards will also be able to have linked on them, so they can benefit of the extra damage. There are a bunch of really good items in the new Chaos. One of them is Key of Sleep, And basically she's your standard DPS, so we're looking for damage amount, crit rate, crit damage, etc. As for the persona cards, anything that can help us like discard the cards and give you a big boost when you do that is obviously good. As for your stats, she's also standard DPS, so attack, crit chance, crit damage. The best 4-piece is the new set that came with her, Prelude to a Hero. And since she crits a lot, 2-piece Executioner's Tool is what I found to be the best on her. For the substats, we want crit chance, crit damage, extra damage, and attack percentage. And with any crit character, we're looking to like, with buffs and everything included, to come as close we can to 100% crit chance. So in almost all cases, you want crit chance on number 4, passion damage or attack percentage on number 5, and then attack on number 6. As for egos, they're all really good egos, although ego number 2 can actually mess up your new Heidemarie a little bit. You might see that I've maxed out, and I promise I did it all free to play. Okay, hold on, I can hear you saying bullshit, but I'm part of the official Chaos Zero Nightmare creator program, and I've been saving up my rewards for doing that for a while. So yeah, I actually didn't spend $1 to have it look like this. It just kind of happened, and I also got quite lucky on the banner. Does she need any egos to work? No, but all of them are good, especially one is really great. Now when it comes to the partners, Sylvia is insane. Like, it's not always that the signature partner is the greatest or like even close to greatest, but Sylvia is kind of miles ahead of the competition. So if you ever thought about picking up a signature partner, like Sylvia would be the one to pick. For Heidemarie, she's absolutely fucking insane. She's miles ahead of the competition, but if you don't want to pick her up, and if you have Solia, you can use Solia, and the free-to-play option would be Daisy. But yeah, if you only go for one signature partner in your entire Chaos Zero Nightmare career, I would advise it to be Sylvia. Now let's talk some themes. This is my favorite theme with Heidemarie. It's not the strongest, but I really like it. It's not weak either, like it just shits on every content. Heidemarie and Diana, they work really good together because they both want to discard the cards. And Nia is also very good at discarding your entire hands. Now if you want to go nuke Heidemarie, it would look like this. And basically with this, you just stall the combat as much as you can and you just continuously buff Heidemarie to, at the end of combat, unleash like an attack for 1 billion damage. It's very impressive numbers. It's not very fun to play in my own opinion, but it does make for some really impressive screenshots. But Heidemarie can actually be very flexible with like what team you bring in. Hugo can be an excellent teammate to Heidemarie. If you play like a very spammy sort of build with Heidemarie, Hugo can follow up with his hunt attacks like very frequently. And Cassius is also one of the GOATs when it comes to supporting Heidemarie because he has access to like a lot of morale. Other supports and teammates that works excellent is Ray, because a lot of Heidemarie's like damage cards, they are like 1 cost or below. And another really good follow-up attacker is also Selena. Personally, I feel like this is the team that feels the most fun. But for me personally, this is the team that feels the most fun. So Heidemarie is kind of simple. Play cards linked together, generate effulgent blades, and finish off the enemies with a really hard-hitting effulgent release. A lot of the cards are quietus, so like make use of that and discard the cards rather than playing most of them manually. Bring teammates that can benefit of the discarded playstyle or that can help her discard it, or if you're playing nuke, bring teammates that can help buff Heidemarie up, and make sure that you don't preemptively like expend the buff before it's time for the hard attack. Alright everybody, these are made to be short and sweet. If you have any questions or if you have any additional Heidemarie tips, slap them down in a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, Hako out.